upset about her abandoning her duties in a time of crisis while she helped me on a case. She'd already been exiled to professional Siberia by being put in charge of SI. By taking away the rank and status she had worked her ass off to earn, they had humiliated her and dealt a dreadful blow to her pride and her sense of self-worth. "Sergeant," I said, sighing. "Sorry, Murph, I forgot." She shrugged a shoulder. "Don't worry about it. I forget sometimes, too. When I answer the phone at work, mostly. Still, I should be less stupid." "We all think that, Harry," Murphy said, and thumped me lightly on the biceps with one fist. "But no one blames you." "That's real big of you, Minnie Mouse," I replied. She snorted and rang for the elevator. On the way up, I asked her, "It's a lot quieter than most crime scenes, isn't it?" She grimaced. "It isn't one." "It isn't?" "Not exactly," she said. She glanced up at me. "Not officially." "Ah," I said. "I guess I'm not actually consulting." "Not officially," she said. "They cut Stallings' budget pretty hard. He can keep the equipment functional and the paycheck steady, barely, but—" I arched a brow. "I need your opinion," she said. "About what?" She shook her head. "I don't want to prejudice you. Just look and tell me what you see." "I can do that," I said. "I'll pay you myself." "Murph, you don't need to—" She gave me a very hard look. Sergeant Murphy's wounded pride wouldn't allow her to take charity. I lifted my hands in mock surrender, relenting. "Whatever you say, boss." "Damn right." She took me to an apartment on the 7th floor. There were a couple of doors in the hall standing slightly open, and I caught furtive looks from their residents from the corner of my eye as we walked past. At the far end of the hall stood a pair of guys who looked like medtechs, bored, grouchy medtechs. One of them was smoking, the other leaning against a wall with his arms crossed and his cap's bill down over his eyes. Murphy and the two of them ignored one another as Murphy opened the apartment door. Murphy gestured for me to go in and planted her feet, clearly intending to wait. I went into the apartment. It was small, worn, and shabby, but it was clean. A miniature jungle of very healthy green plants covered most of the far wall, framing the two windows. From the door I could see a tiny television on a TV stand, an old stereo, and a futon. The dead woman lay on the futon. She had her hands folded over her stomach. I didn't have the experience to tell exactly how long she'd been there, but the corpse had lost all its color and its stomach looked slightly distended, so I guessed that she died at least the day before. It was hard to guess at her age, but she couldn't have been much more than 30. She wore a pink terry cloth bathrobe, a pair of glasses, and had her brown hair pulled up into a bun. On the coffee table, in front of the futon, there was a prescription bottle, its top off, empty. A decanter of golden brown liquid, dusted for prints and covered by a layer of plastic, sat beside it, as did a tumbler that was empty but for a 1/4 inch of water still in its bottom, enough for a melted ice cube or two. Next to the tumbler, there was a handwritten note, also inside a plastic bag, along with a gel-tip pen. I looked at the woman. Then I went over to the futon and read the note. "I'm so tired of being afraid. There's nothing left. Forgive me. Janine." I shuddered. I'd seen corpses before, don't get me wrong. In fact, I'd seen crime scenes that looked like photos of Hell's slaughterhouse. I'd smelled worse, too, believe you me. An eviscerated body puts off a stench of death and rot so vile that it is almost a solid object. By comparison to some of my previous cases, this one was quite peaceful, well organized, tidy, even. It looked nothing like the home of a dead woman. Maybe that's what made it feel so creepy. Except for Janine's corpse, the apartment looked like its owners had just stepped out for a bite to eat. I prowled around, careful not to touch anything. The bathroom and one of the bedrooms were like the living room, neat, a little sparse, not rich, but obviously well cared for. I hit the kitchen next. Dishes were soaking in now cold water in the sink.